What's up guys, so in this video we are going to be doing a story analysis on Kratos. Now we've done a bunch of these, but nobody has ever really talked about this specifically, and that is the similarities between Kratos and Tyr as well as Kratos and Hodr in real Norse mythology. Now we are going to be going over the similarities between these two characters and the role that Kratos plays in this game is actually very similar to both of these characters, which is very strange considering that Kratos is from Greece and not a native of Norse mythology. But before we get into it, I want to show you guys a poll that I put out. I put out a poll a while ago asking you if you think that Kratos is Tyr, and here are the results. Now I was very surprised at the results because every single video I upload about God of War, there's always one or two people that come out and say that Kratos is Tyr. So in this video I will be listing their similarities. Hopefully I'll be able to convince you guys or help you guys understand all of the similarities between Kratos and Tyr and why people think that these characters are one and the same. But let's get right into it. First, let's talk about Tyr, and then we're gonna get to Hodr. So Tyr traveled to other mythologies, which is very rare in this world. One of the places Tyr was at some point in his life was Greece. For now, the only other person in the entire series we know of who did something similar is Kratos. The development team said that Kratos walked for thousands of years away from Greece and ended up in Scandinavia. So both Tyr and Kratos was both in Norse mythology as well as Greek mythology. Now, in Tyr's treasure room, we saw signs of Egyptian mythology. The development team, as well as Cory Barlog, the director of the game, went on record saying that at first they were planning to have Kratos in Egyptian mythology before they decided on Norse. They also said that the idea for future games, Kratos being in Egyptian mythology, is not completely off of the table. Another big thing is that Kratos and Tyr, at some point in both of their lives, held the title of God of War. We all know that Kratos is God of War, the series is called God of War, but Tyr is also a God of War in Norse mythology. If Kratos does go to Egyptian mythology, that's just further showing that Kratos becomes Tyr. Time travel is a big thing, and a lot of people believe that Kratos will eventually travel to Egyptian mythology. He'll go back in time to fulfill his role as Tyr, helping the giants or saving the giants, because again we learn, that Kratos' wife is a giant. So Kratos probably has a big soft spot for the giants. So again, that's pretty much where the Kratos is Tyr theory stems from. Kratos and Tyr have both been traveling to different mythologies. Tyr helped the giants. Kratos' wife was a giant, so if Kratos will eventually go to Egypt, he'll eventually go back in time and become Tyr, play that role that Tyr had. So these similarities are very hard to ignore between these two characters. These two characters have a ton of history, and both are prophesized in Norse mythology, and they both have a big hand in Ragnarok. But let's move on to Hodr. He was a blind brother of Baldur. In real Norse mythology, one of the three events that will lead to Ragnarok was Baldur's death. Freya, his mother, made him indestructible to all things in nature to prevent this. However, she ignored mistletoe because she believed mistletoe wasn't any harm to begin with. Once he was immortal, Baldur was proud to have this invulnerability and showed off to other gods. Loki, jealous of the popularity he was getting, learned of Baldur's one weakness. Loki then tricked his own brother, Hodr, who was blind and also the god of winter, to shoot a mistletoe arrow into Baldur's body, killing him instantly. Baldur allowed this because he was showing off to the other gods, as the other gods threw spears at him, shot their own bow. So when Hodr stepped up to shoot his bow, Baldur let him. And again, like I said, one of the three events of Ragnarok beginning was Baldur's death. Now in the game, Baldur's weakness was exploited by a piece of mistletoe that was on Atreus. Then Kratos killed Baldur, which in turn started a winter that will lead to Ragnarok once it has ended. So like real Norse mythology, Loki and Hodr was responsible for Baldur's death. In this case, it was Loki and Kratos that was responsible for Baldur's death. Hodr was the god of winter, and once Kratos killed Baldur in the game, winter started. Fimbulwinter, that will last 3 years. All of these similarities between Kratos and Hodr is extremely relevant to the story of God of War and what this game is trying to say. But that's going to be it for this video. Now, there are other people that Kratos has connection with. Obviously, Odin, they share the same mindset, and I want to talk about that in its own separate video. Kratos is obviously Farbuti. Farbuti's name was on the mural at the end of the game. It was definitely up there, so we know Kratos is Farbuti. But these two characters, you cannot deny that there are a lot of similarities between Hodr and Tyr. And I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Do you think that Kratos will eventually become Tyr in the future, as the theory is showing? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm going to be out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Deuces.